Hey, I'm Michael with the Taste of Eden Market, and we're here today with Dan Pilguy of Arlington Crest Farms. Now, I find this one of the coolest gardens we have is because his farm is in the middle of a residential neighborhood. If you look around, you can see that you drive down the street, you would have no idea that this guy's growing food. So we're going to go back here and we're going to see what he's growing. So come with me. Hey, Dan, how are you doing?
Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, absolutely. This is a wonderful pleasure. I'm glad you're here to talk to our community. And
yeah, well, thanks for stopping by. I'm happy to show you guys around. And yeah, let's take a look.
All right.
And that's
Well,
what
where
it's
did it all start?
So it all started with this greenhouse. I would start plants under lights in the basement, and then I'd bring
Just
them
this
out
little
here.
one here, right?
Yeah.
This front one.
And then I'd be able to then, move stuff through and get things, started early and start doing stuff at farmers markets and, getting the word out there. So since then, I've now built on this extension, and this is about a 500 square foot extension that is built on sono tubes, concrete tubes. It's kind of framed out like a deck. It has some in-floor heating as well, and I'll be able to hopefully for the first time grow year-round inside of it, which is
That's
exciting.
fantastic.
All the rain comes into a big catch right here. This is like an 825-gallon tank. I have the hopes and aspirations of eventually building an actual deck around this to hide it from the sun.
Farmers markets.
Right.
They're all closed in the winter.
Right.
Where are you selling your stuff?
Well, with you guys.
Hey,
Perfect.
shameless plug. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Good.
Well, and
That's
restaurants too.
Restaurants
Appreciate
are
it.
always
I
good.
mean, it's tough with restaurants growing for a restaurant in the Midwest because they want to see that consistency year round, right?
Right.
So if I can't provide that for them only 4 or 5 months out of the year, sometimes it's tough to reintroduce you to them, your product. So unless you have really good stuff and you stick with your few core restaurants where
Sure.
that's really kind of where it's all at. But I'm growing microgreens, which is something that you can grow year round. Now, all these raised beds here are built with reclaimed wood from old work jobs that I used to do before I started farming. I was doing construction work, doing carpentry work. We're ripping off the second stories of houses, and all those long 14 to 16 foot roof rafters, they'd be cut, and now I have all these 4x8
and they can't
gardens,
reuse them to build stuff. So
no, they normally would throw them in a dumpster and go to a landfill anyway.
Ah,
So with the help of some high school volunteers, I'd show them how to use a hammer, how to pull out nails, and
which
then
they don't do in school anymore,
No,
do they?
No, but it's it's a cool outdoor experience for workers as well, for my volunteers, and I'm able to get more people involved and get them to do something that they normally would never have done prior to this. So I got all sorts of stuff growing: broccoli, peppers, tomatoes. I'm interplanting tomatoes with sunflowers, which is seeming to work okay, kind of as a support system to keep them up. I got some Swiss
Well, it gives
chard.
a little shade because even tomatoes can get burned out.
Yeah,
they
can.
get too
I'm
hot.
going through and I'm trimming off leaves just like so, just to allow a little bit more light in. And
Oh, brilliant! A use of a plant.
this is the biomass. A lot of people put this in a garbage bag and take it to the street. No, everything stays here and it gets reused and composted back into the field. I also got some Swiss chard here growing. So another cool feature here is this is what's called a high tunnel. It gives me the season extension. I can start about a month earlier and I can go about a month later into the season. Right now I'm growing tomatoes, peppers, and for the first time I'm growing cannabis in here. So I have 10 girls in here growing right now. Both my mom and I, who were attached to this property, have our medicinal cards. So we are legally obligated, I think, to grow 5 plants for our own personal use, because pot's expensive and not a lot of people can afford it all. So if you can grow your own, grow your own. I mean, and let it grow. So I'm really excited to, utilize this plant as well, incorporated into the farm. It's more than just something that, you can smoke. I mean, you got to kind of broaden your horizon. So in here, I also have overhead drip irrigation, which is excellent for helping germinate crops early in the season.
Sure.
In here, I have some arugula under what people can refer to this as like a row cover, or this is more specifically an insect netting, not necessarily to keep the crop warm, but to keep the bugs out, because arugula can be pretty susceptible to some sort of bugs. Again, I'm not really spraying anything harmful on my plants, that where other farmers can get away with doing that. They don't need to worry about covering. This is my way of pest management.
Now, I'm seeing some tomatoes over there that look to be the size of grapefruits.
Oh man, just wait.
I gotta see
So
what
this is a cool story, actually. So this guy who lives on the first vinyl fence. His
Okay.
name's Orlando. Okay, he's kind of like a legend around here. Orlando is originally from Greece, lived some time in South America, and he got these seeds from a grocery store in Greece, I think, long time ago. And I mean, I might be telling this story wrong, but he's kind of a hard guy to understand if you can
Sure.
get my drift.
Thick accent.
He comes over and he says, "Hey, Danny, you got great stuff, but let me give you my tomato seed." And I started his tomatoes, and now everyone knows these tomatoes as Orlando tomatoes because I asked him the variety. He's like, "I don't know, big juicy tomatoes." So now I call them Orlando's tomatoes, and they really are
That's awesome.
massive. We can walk down this walking path right here,
Step on anything. There you go.
and you can start to see. We just trimmed them up too. There's some nice two to probably almost 3-pound specimens.
They're massive.
Look at this guy right here. These are a later tomato, but they really do come on nice.
That's a whole meal for a family of 4 right
Yeah,
there.
these are really
One
nice
tomato.
tomatoes.
Huh.
So right here is kind of my wall of cherry tomatoes.
Oh
which
my goodness, look how tall this is.
you can walk here in the middle. This is a lettuce crop that's since been terminated and over harvested. So yeah, look at it, I'm
7, 8
constantly
feet tall.
working, and this is where you can see that this method looks a little bit better.
We tie it up. We
Yeah.
twist it around.
Right behind you
That's
is my worm bin. So classic porcelain
Hard
bathtub.
workers of the farm.
Yeah, I can dig a little in here and show you what's going on. Real exciting stuff here. I've been feeding them beer mash from
Oh,
the
good
last
stuff.
beer batch we
I
were
see.
brewing with the neighbors. And here they are down in here.
Red
See 'em
Wranglers.
all up in here. So they do the hard work for me.
And they're fast too.
Yeah, there you go.
They're doing all the hard work.
So just below I collect the juice, and that is my fertilizer. So when people ask you spray your crops, yeah, with that,
Yep.
diluted with water.
Yeah.
Very
Worm-
simple.
worm
Keep it
juice.
simple. Everything comes in here after we harvest, and then it comes through here. This is my makeshift like processing station where we'll wash and let the stuff dry out, and then I utilize big tanks to wash the produce. And then the produce will sometimes, with leafy greens, I use an old school washing machine to spin my greens.
Oh, fantastic. Take out the agitator, or you still got it?
No,
Nope.
it's still in there. Some people take it out, but what I use is you could
That's
just
awesome.
use laundry bags like this.
Oh, yeah,
Get
yeah.
these on Amazon for $5.
And do all the greens in there.
Yeah, wash them in there,
How
and then
awesome.
everything then comes into the cooler. This is a big walk-in refrigerator. Keeps my products cold. It's pretty filled right now. Got all sorts of stuff. We just harvested some of these beautiful red onions
Ooh,
there.
very nice.
and some different types of squash, some peppers, jalapenos, things like that. So they stay in here, stay cold until I'm ready to sell them at market, or tomorrow I got a couple restaurants that are going to be getting some stuff, so I'll be up early and getting that ready for them.
Wonderful.
It's officially tomato time. You probably didn't see any red ones on the vines because they're all right here. I even am growing these green zebra ones. These are a
those are
unique
fun.
one. And these are Cherokee purples. These are like one of the favorites, like big heirloom tomatoes. I got the standard red round ones. This is like an Orlando, but this is a tiny one compared to the other. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm happy because I don't really necessarily see this as hard work. I see it as an investment in my future.
Well, very cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and showing us the farm.